Hey everyone, and welcome to the second part of this series of video about the historical accuracy of the piano playing scenes and piano music in period dramas. If you missed the first part, you can check it out here. Talking about the first part, I realized I made a stupid mistake. One of the videos of the adaptation of Emma I was talking about was from the wrong Emma. So today we're starting with an iconic movie that many of you asked me to review, The Piano. The action is set in 1852 and they found a very beautiful square piano matching the time period. So the accuracy of the instrument itself, as there is only one, is very good. Now about the music. Most of the music of the movie was composed by Michael Nyman, including the famous The Heart Asks Pleasure First, which is considered as the main theme of the movie. The song is based on a traditional Scottish melody titled Gloomy Winter's No Awa. I find it pretty cool and accurate, as in the 19th century there has been lots of piano adaptations written on folk tunes. So even if it doesn't sound completely authentic, it really makes sense. What I would reproach is that this tune is played too often in the movie. After 30 minutes of film, I had the impression that it was the only piece we've heard so far. I had it in mind for nights and nights after watching it, and now it's your turn. There is a very weird thing about this scene. The piano is supposed to be out of tune after a long journey from Scotland to New Zealand. Especially historical Fortepiano go out of tune very quickly. But when we hear the piece, the piano is still in tune. Also, they thought about it because a few scenes after we learn that the piano has been tuned and the little girl is checking that it is in tune by playing fifth. A very interesting thing about this movie is that the actress, Holly Hunter, performs herself the piano pieces in the movie. Apparently, she played the piano since her childhood and appears to be a very accomplished pianist. So indeed, her gestures are good, even if they seem more appropriate for modern piano than historical Fortepiano. So yeah, honestly, it is pretty good, and I give it a 4. Now let's go back in time to the beginning of the 19th century and go on with two Jane Austen adaptations, starting with Persuasion 1995 version, starring Amanda Root as Anne Elliot. The action sets in 1814 and the book was published in 1818. The main problem in this one is that there is a gap of 20 years between the time of the action and the time of the music. We hear a lot of Chopin, and Chopin was only 4 years old in 1814. And no, Chopin wasn't that precocious. We can hear preludes, especially prelude number 3, opus 28 in G major, and also some nocturnes. At least one good thing is that they didn't use super famous pieces such as the nocturne in C sharp minor that we hear in like 1 out of 2 period dramas setting in the 19th century. So why so many Chopin? Maybe it was for a poetic purpose. Apart from this, there are some very good things, such as the reference to the old spinet, and the old lady thinking that the pianoforte is too loud. Also the character saying that it would be nice to make duets with pianoforte and harp. It was indeed a very common duet at the time. The dance music also sounds quite credible, and so is the song played by Captain Wentworth, which is an Irish ballad written by Thomas Moore, the minstrel boy. You like this tune? As for the instrument they used, we don't see much of the Fortepiano, but it looks okay from what we see. So yeah, some good things, but the historical accuracy clearly wasn't their priority. Don't be so sad, Anne, I still give it a 3. We go on with Emma, period, 2020 version. Many great things in this one, starting with the fact that the actresses are playing the pianoforte themselves. I heard the actress who played Jane Fairfax practicing on her Instagram, and she's indeed a very accomplished lady, just like her character, and she can play very difficult pieces. In the movie, Jane Fairfax plays challenging pieces such as Mozart's Sonata in F. Also really liked the scene where Emma sings and plays the Irish folk song The Last Rose of Summer. I really loved the interpretation here, very dramatic, very historical. I found it very credible and good. Let's listen to it.
To reflect back her blushes and give sigh for sigh. Oh, who would inhabit this bleak world alone?
Not only the piano music is perfectly accurate and played on beautiful instruments, but it is also well played. The only thing I regret with this one is that there are not that many scenes of pianoforte playing. In the novel, Jane Fairfax pianoforte has an important role to play, and here we see it only once, I think. Also, I would have liked to hear more English music of the time, such as what we can see in Jane Austen's music songbook. But come on, it is all very good, so I give it a 4.5. I go on with an obscure period drama of the 70s, Angeli, Senza, Paradiso. No, it isn't about an Italian composer, it is about Schubert. Okay, so if you want to see Schubert's life transposed in Italy during the 70s, this movie is for you. After 5 minutes of movie, I am already laughing so hard that I can hardly focus on the movie. Honestly, makeup, hair, costumes, Vienna looks like Rome, dancing is wrong, Schubert has big furry hands, everything looks wrong. Clearly, it's not a design choice like Persuasion 95 or Bridgerton. It kind of looks like the Swedish movie I used to do as a child. Okay, so first of all, they used modern piano instead of historical pianofortes. Let's have a look at a Viennese piano from the 1820s, just to show you how different it is from a modern piano. Plus, if I remember correctly, Schubert himself had a 5 octaves piano, would be an earlier one. The gestures and facial expression of the actor who plays Schubert are terrible. Wrong hand is playing, we hear him play in the lower register of the piano, and he's playing on the right part of the piano. Some close up to the hands where someone is playing for real. Finally, what we hear matches what we see, that's already some comforting things. But it's not even good, there is always a little delay. And there is also this huge detail that made me laugh. It is when Schubert's work are edited and it pops out a modern edition. Can you imagine? Well, I certainly don't regret watching this and had a lot of fun, but for the accuracy of the music, I give it a 1. The last movie I will be reviewing today is transporting us to the Edwardian era. Room with a View. It is a very interesting one because the piano is a medium of communication for the protagonist, a way to express herself. The choice of the pieces is always very good. What she plays always reflects what she is feeling inside. After she is free from her engagement, she plays Mozart A minor sonata very cheerfully and energetically. It suits her mood very well. Helena Bonham Carter doesn't play the piano from what I've read, but she was coached extensively so her keyboard appearances would be convincing. And they are. Just one scene where she plays 4 hands with her brother, we can see that they are not really playing. Lucy's brother also plays the piano and sings.
They played then a sonata, let me see. Madonna oblongata, key of G. However, we're in E flat.
And we are in E flat indeed. So yeah, great piano music in this one. I give it a 5, even though as for the historical accuracy, it is always easier to make it good when it is in the 20th century than in the 18th century. This is it for the second part of this video series. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. There will be a part 3 later in the year, and I am already planning on talking about Pride and Prejudice 2005 and Sense and Sensibility 1995, as many of you asked. So if you have more suggestions, do not hesitate to let me know. And see you next time. Bye!